What's up, guys? So today I wanted to kind of get into what BMX means to me, kind of where it's taken me, where I've been with it, and where I would like to see it go in the future. I started riding when I was like 13, maybe. I know it was like middle school. I'd always rode, kind of like as a kid, just kind of messed around with bikes and everything else, like all other kids do. But then I kind of started picking up BMX when I was 13. A couple other kids were riding, and it just seemed fun. Um, and then here we are, 15 years later almost. I feel like. Um, so yeah, with that, I started riding when I was young, and we didn't really have anywhere to ride. Um, I grew up in like a small town area, so we would always get kicked out of anywhere that wasn't really even a spot anyways. We were just trying to ride stuff. So we'd start digging. I mean, I remember at one point we had a little lip that we dug into the side of somebody's yard that was kind of a hill. And they didn't know about it for a long time. And then one day it kind of just they got filled in a couple times, and we tried to still ride it, but they put up signs and didn't want us there. And the thing that I always realized with BMX was that BMX wasn't really welcomed where I'm from, or skateboarding or like rollerblading or any like action sport like that wasn't welcome. But like if you were playing a team sport, like if you were a baseball player or football player or whatever, something like that, like a school sport, it was okay, And not to take anything away from that, because I don't have any, issue with that. I'm just saying it was like BMX and skateboarding was kind of looked down upon compared to that. Um, and that's kind of the collective of people from my area that got into that stuff, was kind of the outcasts and the weirdos and the people that just weren't accepted, that weren't like cool or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. But so I got into it, and I'd already fit into that category anyways. Like I kind of wasn't doing what everyone else was doing. Um, I would have been good at sports, honestly. I mean, I still mess around with sports, but I don't take them seriously. But I could have been a decent football player. I would have been decent at anything. I feel like anybody would if they'd try. But BMX was something that I wanted to try. And I wanted to get better with it. And I didn't realize it when I started riding. It was just about fun, and that's what it always is and still is now. But it taught me a lot of like life lessons, so to say, and a lot of mental growth. Like when you're trying a trick over and over and over, and you want to give up, and you don't, and then you pull that trick, there's no better feeling I've experienced in the world than when the gratitude of working to earn that trick. It doesn't have to be the coolest trick, or like you know what I mean, but to you, you know what your capability was, and you just went up and passed it. It's the greatest feeling ever. It's like a level up. So with that, like, you got mental growth. You get fit from riding. I mean, you don't might not look fit, but you get upper body strength, and you get, I mean, your legs. So it's a good form of exercise, like just as good as baseball or football or anything like that. Like you're active. If you're riding constantly, you're an active person. Um, so you got the physical, you get mental, like emotional growth. Some people learn patience with it. Me, eh. Like as far as getting frustrated on tricks, or like I said, wanting to give up. And so you learn all three of those growths. And then with that, the network that comes with BMX, the amount of people you meet that ride are all in to every different aspect of the world, whether it is sports, cars, being a family man or woman. I mean, you meet people that from all over that are into all different things, but BMX collectively brings us all together. So with that, you build this network. You have people that you can go ride with all the time. If you're in a different area, you can call people up or hit people up to go ride with. You ride different skate parks or ride street, and it's just it's became a form of my life. And I've left BMX so many times, and BMX never left me. Like every time I would go back to it, it was the same feeling, and it just like it makes me smile thinking about it because I wouldn't trade any other lifestyle than this. And I realized over time that I wasn't really living the BMX lifestyle that I was when I first started. Like it stopped being about fun and it stopped being about adventure and travel and learning new tricks. And like we'll go through like plateaus with riding or whatever, you know. Um, but I would give up on BMX and I would come back to it and I would still be able to do a lot that I could, and it just wasn't fun to me anymore. So BMX, it got to a point where it wasn't BMX, it wasn't fun anymore. It was me that wasn't fun anymore. And I let things take over my life and my lifestyle that probably weren't the best decisions I could have made. Um, and it led me down a path that it was very hard to get back from. And it's still a challenge every day. But with that, BMX has, it's always been there for me as an outlet, whether I'm struggling with whatever or relationships or just personal things. BMX is there to go to. And you know, some people use like martial arts or boxing or running or nature or whatever to not escape but to escape, you know, to find their answers. And BMX is my answer. But with that, like, I realized when it stopped being fun, it's because I wasn't living the lifestyle with BMX that I wanted to. Like, I was just going and riding, and it'd be fun for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, um, I've done this. You know, I've done all these tricks. I've done all this stuff. Like, what else is there to do? And so now, thankfully, I'm back at a point where, you know, I have this YouTube thing I'm trying to do. All the stuff with, you know, happened last year with the pandemic, and it's made me really get back into who I am or want to be. So this year, this YouTube channel, it's all about highlighting that. It's all about keeping everybody together. It's all about progress. And I'm going to take trips. I want to do interviews with people. Um, there's so much I want to do. I can't even think right now because it just floods my mind every day, and it always has. But now I'm finally listening to it, so I just got to go step by step. But with like interviews, I want to go to events. I want to push myself harder than I ever have, and I want to network out and be able to take trips and know people in a different area, and we just connect and ride, and it's like we've known each other forever. You know, that's what BMX is. Like when you get on your bike, you're in a different world, and there's no judgment. There's no the only competition is within yourself. Obviously, you know, there's competition, but I'm saying like with it, it's art, and BMX is art. So you're an artist with your and your paintbrush is your bike, and the paint and all that and the canvas is the world out there. So you can create it however you want it to be. There is no rules to what you have to do. You know what I mean? That's what's cool about BMX is you make it up. You make it whatever you want it to be, and you express yourself through your riding. And that's all I want to do this year is just take my riding to another level. And so with this YouTube thing, you know, I want to keep everybody updated on the BMX world, and I want to do interviews and videos and fun stuff that, you know, it's because it's what BMX is. BMX is fun, and the moment you start taking it too seriously is the moment you start to get frustrated with it. So I want to keep this whole channel and year about fun and finding myself, and just take you guys along with me on it. It's gonna be a great year. Um, that's all I got. I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. It's already been a great year, so we're just gonna keep it rolling. It's Sick Flow. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever on all this stuff. I'm not very good with it, but I'm trying here. So I'll see you guys soon.